Hi everyone, my name is Shweta and I am a certified linguist from the University of Cambridge and an English teacher for the English School of London. So, welcome back. I hope you guys are doing really well. And today's lesson is a very important lesson because it's going to talk about 10 phrases to use in the IELTS speaking test. In fact, these 10 phrases that you're going to do today are phrases that will come in very handy in your writing as well as speaking test. So, as you all would know, whoever is preparing for the IELTS exam, that you one of the factors on which you're assessed is vocabulary. How this lesson will really help you to widen your range of vocabulary. And even if you're able to use three of these phrases, in your test, you will definitely go to band 9. So just think of a situation where you have to talk about something and say that, oh, this is an advantage, this is an extra advantage that you have. Rather than saying that, there is another person who says, oh, this is a cherry on the cake. Which person do you think would be selected? Of course, this one, cherry on the cake. It's an interesting phrase. It's kind of making the person come across as very fluent, very confident, who has a grip over the language. So, as I said, this is going to be a vocabulary lesson for intermediate and upper intermediate students. And three things I'd like you guys to keep in mind. Number one, please watch the complete lesson. The second one is ask any questions in the comment section below. And the third is download the PDF of this lesson on Google Classroom. All right, so are you all geared up? Everybody who's preparing for IELTS, this is your lesson. This is what you need to go back to and pick up your phrases and use them. All right, let's start with the first one. The first one is a drop in the ocean. So, what does this phrase mean? It means a small amount compared to what is needed. So, you may need something this much, but a small amount. So, it's a drop in the ocean. So, let's take an example of a sentence. Few schools have started implementing the new policy, but it's just a drop in the ocean as there are more than 5,000 schools. So compared to 5,000 schools, maybe 10 or 20 or even 100 is just drop in the ocean, right? So a drop in the ocean, a small amount compared to what is actually needed. Next one is over the moon. Over the moon. So this means to be elated, very happy. So sentence would be, I'd be over the moon if I get selected for this company. Or in your case, you'd be over the moon if you get selected in your IELTS exam, right? Okay, let's look at the third one, the bottom line. What does this mean? So the meaning is the final result or the most important fact. Okay, now let's try and using this in the sentence. No matter how many records they may make, the bottom line is they still need to win the match. So it's the underlying factor, the final result. What's going to decide? The bottom line. This is decisive, okay? So this is how you can use bottom line. So maybe if you want to try and make a quick sentence, with this phrase, the bottom line, and post it in the comment section. How about that? Yeah? Think about a nice sentence that you can use this phrase in and post it in the comment section below. Great. Let's go to the fourth one. Find my feet. All right. So find my feet is not trying to literally find your feet, but it just means gaining familiarity or comfort. Okay. Like finding your familiar ground, finding your comfort zone. So I'm still trying to find my feet in the organization since it's only been a month. So, of course, when you join a new company or a new organization, it takes time for you to settle down, for you to understand the dynamics, for you to understand how the processes work, for you to understand and get familiar with people around. So, find my feet. I'm still trying to find my feet in this new place of work. Okay? All right. Down in the dumps. Down in the dumps. It means unhappy. Down in the dumps. I'm down in the dumps. So a sentence could be, she's been down in the dumps as she couldn't clear her third attempt. So it's literally a feeling of unhappiness. That's when you use this phrase down in the dumps. I've been down in the dumps because it's been 4 months that I haven't recovered from this sickness. So down in the dumps, very unhappy. Then the sixth one, off the top of my head. Off the top of my head, it means without giving much thought. So, situations where you're asked something and you suddenly don't have time to think and you're saying, off the top of my head, this is what I could think of. You have quickly, spontaneously. So, let's try using it in a sentence. When he asked me about Newton's law, I couldn't think about anything off the top of my head. I asked him to give me some time. So, off the top of my head, instantly, spontaneously, without giving much thought. Seventh, call it a day. Call it a day. No, don't call it out a day, but it means to conclude a day or a night. That means to wrap up. To wrap up your day or night, you say, call it a day. So I have an early flight tomorrow, so I'm going to call it a day. So it's like, say, for example, you've gone somewhere for dinner and you have an early flight, and everybody is still, sort of continuing their talks and their conversations going, and there's dinner still happening. But then suddenly you say, I have an early flight tomorrow, so I'm going to call it a day. That means I'm going to wrap up this party. I'm going to wrap up my day now and head back home. Okay. All right. Eighth, looking back, I'd say. So this must be a little familiar. It actually means thinking about the past period. So, for example, did you enjoy living in the hostel? Well, looking back, I'd say it was one of the best times of my life. So, looking back, I'd say my school days were the best days of my life. Yeah. Looking back, I'd say. So, when you're reminiscing, when you're thinking about your past period, that's when you use this phrase, looking back, I'd say. Then the next one is better late than never. So I'm sure you all must be very familiar with the Hindi version of it, but in English, it's called better late than never, which means better to do something late than never try it. Okay? So let's look at a sentence. It's the right time to try your hand at singing. It's better late than never. Yeah. So think of a situation in your life where you would like to tell yourself, better late than never. I might as well just do it. Yeah. I'm sure all of you can think of one situation. Maybe you would like to share it with everyone and put it in the comment section. How about that? Okie dokie. Great. Let's look at the last phrase, to get on your nerves. Okay. Now, when I say it, try to catch my tone and expression. To get on your nerves. To get on your nerves. It's not happy, it's not pleasant, of course, but it's also a feeling of frustration. So, annoy someone a lot. So, let's look at a sentence. Can you turn the TV volume down? It's getting on my nerves. When you say this, it is not, you don't say this with a lot of happy feeling. You don't say it in a neutral feeling. You say it with a bit of frustration, to get on my nerves. It's getting on my nerves. Stop it. I don't want to listen to it anymore. All right. Okay. So here were your 10 phrases that you can use in the IELTS exam. Let's do a quick recap. A drop in the ocean, over the moon, The bottom line, find my feet down in the dumps, off the top of my head, call it a day. Looking back, I'd say better late than never to get on your nerves. So I hope you are able to really put these to use. And as I promised, if you use even three of these phrases, you're going to kill your IELTS exam. All right. Okay. So if you guys did like this lesson and you feel you learned something really amazing, please, 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 please do subscribe to this YouTube channel and log on to the EnglishSchoolOfLondon.com. Fill in this form if you want to speak English like a film star. Thank you so much, guys, for being so patient, and thank you for coming in again, listening to this class. And I am sure we're going to bring about many other interesting lessons in the future. Until then, bye bye.